What's going on, everyone? It's your boy James, Grendel's Garage, and we finally hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Can't believe we made it this far. When I started this journey, I just I didn't think I would be right here with all this stuff, but here we are. I'm super excited to go ahead and break down and everything and really kind of show you guys where we're at and what's coming down the pipe, and where the finances have been going into the hobby itself, and what to expect hopefully in the next few years, and my dedication to the actual hobby and you guys itself as far as supporting me. So here we are, guys. This is what I've been up to. A whole bunch of mayhem, a whole bunch of bikes. I've been really keeping an eye on Facebook Marketplace, and as you guys can see, it's paid off heavily. You guys know the original one, felt bike that I purchased back there, looking really good, super clean, super awesome. Well, to add to the family, I recently also picked up a twin sister, brother, I don't know, bike. It's basically identical, just a little bit of a ting on the top right there, and just a little bit of wear and tear, and it doesn't have the back rack, but besides that, it's exactly identical, which is super awesome. Now, next to the Banshee Queen, we have another felt bike, 24-inch. The wheels on this thing are just fatty. Look at that, guys. I think they're like huge. I don't even know. Just kind of a real quick comparison. But it is 24 inches. It is a Baron, I believe, and one thing, it is aluminum. Now, it is super thick, and I'm sure the quality is way better than the felt fakers. So I cannot wait to show this off. I haven't cleaned it up. I picked it up for a solid $150, and that's the same with the other bike that you just saw, the other felt bike, the Fat Tire L. The one has a little bit more damage. I got it for $150. So guys, watch those marketplace ones. People will post them because they see how much they're worth, because they know they're worth a lot, and then they just drop them because, you know, things come up and they sit there for a bit. So I could talk forever. Not 100% sure, obviously, what we're going to do. But that's kind of what I've been up to, guys, besides trying to do some quick and fun modifications. The Banshee Queen, as you can see, there's been a lot of changes going on with that bike. You can see we finally have the magnesium rims from Bikeberry that we had some issues with, but finally resolved, and they hooked me up and reimbursed me, plus let me keep these ones and the old ones, which I regret throwing away because I was mad. But long story short, here we are. So we're going to give these a spin. I'm super excited, and we'll go over all the modifications and stuff like that to catch you up, because that's the whole point of this video, guys, is to catch you up, because we're super behind on videos. So this will give you exactly what we're doing now, and then we'll go ahead and catch up weekly for the video. So if you guys subscribe, you can see a video every week to the best of my ability. So there you go. There's my pitch. There's my one pitch. But yeah, looking at the Banshee Queen, we've done a lot. We still have the Zeta 100 Max Honor, which you guys haven't seen it run yet. We had some issues. I dropped some definitely big hints that we had some compression issues. I got a little overzealous and got the compression too low. Guys, when you are doing your compression and you're putting new base gaskets on, remember you're going to compress. Honestly, I think we compressed probably, I'm not even gonna say, maybe I'll like slam it in right here how much we ended up compressing if I do the math off camera and have enough time. But so we ended up hitting the head. What did I do? I had sanded that little part that dropped down, and now we are good with a copper gasket. But I did have to take off quite a bit, even with the little hanging part that came with the CDH power head. After it sanded down, I still was making contact and didn't have enough space to feel comfortable, so we went ahead and put a copper gasket in there. All right, what else did we do? So just because oh yes, also too, why are we here? Why does this look so different? Why do we have a different pipe? Why are we running these Bikeberry rims? It's because on my last ride, after I got everything hooked up, we ended up blowing some spokes because our hubcap adapter ended up going into our spokes, and we blew two spokes, and that wheel was going boom, 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 boom. holy cow. I'll show you that video and you guys will be like, wow. So that was pretty wild. So I was like, screw it. What are we going to do? Went down the rabbit hole. Here we are. Stretch the frame out in the back. I'll show you guys that too. That's going to be all the stuff we're going to catch up on, okay? I'm not going to say that again because we'll be doing that forever. And I think this is going to be kind of a long video. I only have 26 minutes on my camera. So here we are. So we stretched the frame out. We had slapped that in. We had to do a whole bunch of other fun stuff, but we got it in there. And then we had some other issues with some chain tightness. So we had to drop this down to a certain degree. And to do that, we ended up not being able to use the nasty jack, which I've been seeing a lot of videos. I think Trent does one where he shows what's in there, and they're just, I got to cut mine open, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I had this one sitting around, so this pipe worked great. I was going to run the CDH powered 88 pipe, but it just just no clearance with the pedals and stuff like that. Okay, so here we are with this pipe. Nice and mounted out, all that kind of stuff to kind of help with the issue with how the pipes mount onto these LD100 heads or cylinders. Yep, on the cylinders I went ahead and built a little custom spacer, and I used some good old gump that I use that I'll show you when we walk over there. So that's nice and mounted up, and we have one gasket for now. This is not the 100% mock-up. We are going to ride it like this, but this is just gonna, I might do a couple more things. So what I'm trying to say is I'm probably going to use some gasket maker around this eventually versus just running a gasket. So this is all ready to go. I did cut some I don't know what you call them, fins. Cut some fins in there just kind of for fun, but to increase more surface area, better cooling, and it helps some hopefully air to get back onto the engine itself. And yes, oh yeah, I bought this pipe from GoMax. There you go. Yeah, I bought it a long time ago. I think I was gonna never got it. Thought I was never use it. So here we are, but using it. So what else with the Banshee Queen, guys? We ended up having to go with a different, is it a cassette? I think something like that. Went with a 32. Probably didn't have to go quite that small, and it's perfect, ready to go. Excited about that. Did have to go ahead and throw on a little bit of a chain tensioner. I did have to pop the chain, fix that up, but we're good to go. Super excited. With that being said, we are running just front disc brakes. Now that we don't have the coaster brake in the back, we got to take that into consideration. So we're all hooked up. We have, I forgot to, we also have the Nibby 19 on there with, man, I forget what jet. I think we put an 80 in there for the main, and we dropped the Pilot to a 30 from a 32. So that's where we're sitting. I already know we're going to be too rich, but with this other pipe from our other videos, I think we're going to want a little bit more. I think the nasty jack is really restrictive after everything I've said, which I already covered. Sorry, I'm talking fast. Lots to cover, guys. So where are we at next? Katsune. Katsune also got a good old stretch on the rear. So super excited about that. We are struggling to find a rear tire. I want to buy a Gemini, but just for this build in itself, because I'm going to be doing other stuff, and I just, with the classic dropouts like that, I just don't necessarily want to file it down and stuff like that with the Gemini. Plus there's just other projects that I'd rather put Gemini rims on, right? Money needs to go other places. So I think there's the CDH, oh excuse me, this one, that's the rear version of this. The CDH one you can get off of Amazon. There's other brands that sell the exact same rim. They're all over the place. But I think what we need to do is we need to buy that. We need to get it. And from what I remember is I think what we need to do is flip the axle around. So maybe a bike shop can do that for me. Maybe I can do it myself. Not 100% sure. But if we can get that axle flipped around, it'll fit in so perfect. And that's a whole conversation for another day. But that's the way I'm going. If that doesn't work out, then I have a backup plan. But great success on our Wildcat 80 with Katsune. I had a great time. I saw a great performance overall with all the porting. So you guys saw that, and we saw some pretty good reviews and some good feedback on that. So we're going to go ahead and port that. It's just here for alignment chain, stuff like that, just to see how things were lining up, because this is the first one I stretched before I did the Banshee Queen. As you guys may or may not have seen, I don't know if we're that far, but I did build a nice little bracket for the gas tank because our other one started leaking super bad out the back. So that'll be kind of fun. I think we will get a bike rack for that, just to get tools and just to be able to, I don't know, carry more stuff, always for fun. Went ahead and put a relief in there as well, so we can go ahead and get better gas flow overall. So that will help out quite a bit. Sorry, people, school's getting out. So besides that, guys, Katsune is looking pretty darn good. Not really going to change anything else with that. Just got to get the rear. Alrighty, what else, guys? The Kokura is just waiting to get a motor. Nothing really to say there. Nothing's really going to change on that. It's just ready to go. I don't know if we're going to put the Avenger 85 or anything like that. We will talk about the Menace here in a second. Just sitting on here, just waiting for motors, man. I think that's kind of where we're at right now with motors. We do have air shocks. These are the same ones that are on the Kokura. We're going to go ahead and throw onto one of these bikes. Just mint. Sorry, I got to show them off. Nothing to say about Nagini, guys. I need to change the oil in it. That's where we're really at with Nagini right now. Haven't started in a long time. Probably take it for a couple more rides at this point, just because I don't have time to change the oil. I have more time to ride than I do to change the oil. Not that it takes long, but yeah. The wife said she'll ride it, so just got to get her on there. Got to oil the clutch or the centrifugal clutch on the other side. It's squeaky a little bit, so you should do that every ride. So I'm gonna make probably like some cuts into this plastic part right here, and so I can just like put a straw and just grease oil. That's the only thing I'm going to do for this for now. Do remember, guys, there will be videos on this, but it's really just kind of for me to get my headspace, and it's a 4-stroke, so when you pull it, it starts, and you don't really have to mess with it too much. Not that I have anything against the 2-strokes, but I got motors stacked, and I got one on a bike, and it took me almost like 2 weeks with my time and work to go ahead and get it going. So what does that mean? Where does that bring me at? What are we talking about right now? Which one of these Bad Larrys deserves a 4-stroke? We have to do it now at this point, guys. 6 bikes. We got to do a 4-stroke. Which one? I think the Kokura is out just because it has a lot of stuff that's more high-end, that's geared for quickness, even though the frame's probably not the best, I know. But I think we'll just ride that out until we go ahead and either crack it or something like that. But I'm kind of leaning towards this one. I know it's aluminum, but it's strong. It could be good. Or should we go with more steel? I'm not going to lie. That has shown me that those things shake like a mother trucker. At least that one does. Or at least just the way it's mounted up. I don't know. But the 4-stroke, ooh, man, boom, 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 boom. She shakes. So there you go, guys. There's a good question there. Which one deserves a 4-stroke? We got to do it. Which one? What else, guys? Oh, yeah, so speaking of cracking frames, let's hope that never happens to anyone ever. But my biggest coin and all the money I've been saving up for is I'm going to bring you over here, guys. Ignore the mess and all the other pipes and stuff like that. But, boom, there you go, guys. We're going to get into the welding game super seriously. I'm going to go ahead and go with the, what is it, DP200 Yes Welder, I believe is what it's called. I'm going for it. So I just got that installed and approved. So I'm not going to show that because there's personal information on there. But we went ahead and got that installed and approved. I said, like, the city came over and then had the guy, he gave it the holy crossing and threw some holy water. And then after that, it was good to go. So that was expensive, guys. That was almost $800. Almost $800. Gosh darn. Holy cannoli. The world we live in. But there we are. So we're going to go with that. So that's where my money is going right now, guys. Is to the welder, and we're super excited. We are going to go ahead and save up for that. We have a lot of, got to save up for that. That's super expensive. That was more expensive than I thought it was going to be. So we got to go ahead and save up for the welder. Then we have to get bottles. We got to get regulators. We got to get the wire. We got to make sure that the bottles have gas in there. I got to find a place that will fill up gas, which doesn't seem to be an issue. There's like 4 or 5 places in my area and all that jazz. So, but in the meantime, while we're saving up, we're just going to go ahead and weld the crap out of the Banshee Queen and the Katsune bike. just for practice and stuff like that with our Yes Welder Flux Core and stuff like that. So I've been looking online. It does maybe seem that I can maybe do some other stuff with this welder as far as stainless steel, but I got to figure out how to switch the polarity, but it's not as simple as it seems. I don't know. It says you can, but I don't know, man. Anyways, I digress, guys. Stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and close up shop because school is getting out, and we'll go ahead and talk about all this craziness. So here we go. Stay tuned. Alrighty, everyone. We are back, and we're going to go ahead and work our way this way and hopefully get through the chaos. So where are we at? Went ahead and took this front fork from, rest in peace, Typhon, we miss you. But Typhon stretched it out using this little guy. This is what I use to stretch the frames. It's not perfect. I did have to use blocks of wood to kind of even it out so it does stretch out evenly, but it's not 100%. So there are probably better ways, but it worked well for me, and now I've been stretching the crap out of stuff. So I can go ahead and work on trying to true up and learn that process. Now, I have played with this, so it's probably worse than when I received it, but it's still super bad. I'm also thinking that before I screw with it too much, I'm probably going to go ahead and take it to a bike shop and see if I can have another couple pair of eyes or a couple of other shops take a look at and see what they can do with it. So there's that if the CDH one does not work out. So too much, I talked about that. Anyways. Moving on, not only are we trying to get into welding and the bike stuff, we are going to take the porting to the next level. I went ahead and picked this up off Amazon. From what I saw, excuse me guys, the reviews are not bad. It works great, but they say that the settings and stuff like that aren't, or the revolutions and stuff like that aren't as good as what it does. But for what we're doing, it's freaking perfect. It does have a foot pedal with it, which I didn't pull out. And we'll have to figure all that out because it doesn't have like a whole lot of reach as far as the foot pedal goes. But it seems like super nice quality. At least the colors are nice. I've turned it on once, plugged it in, and yeah, this is going to be much better for other stuff besides porting as well. But we're definitely going to get down that rabbit hole a lot more and do a lot more. So cool, guys. That's really nothing to say about that. Came with a bunch of goodies. Pretty affordable, but still kind of expensive when you start adding up all the money I've been saving up and spending. But I also got a 90-degree angle, and that's really why I ended up going with this whole setup. What's the point? The Dremel works great, guys, but when you start getting to the transfers, that gets a little tough, and this seemed to be the best way to go. So we will be able to do some serious transfer work, either good or bad, detrimental or amazing. We shall see. Yeah, I think altogether I spent about $150 off for this and all the goodies that came with it and for the actual rotary tool itself. So moving on, what do we have? We have this bottom end to a Wildcat 80. This is the first bottom end that I got from the actual original one, but the crank's all messed up in there, and so they sent me a new bottom end, and that's what's on Katsune right now. So we're going to take it apart because I've never taken apart a freaking bottom end before. How crazy is that, guys? 1,000 subscribers, and you guys never knew that I've never taken one apart. But I think it's one to say a little bit more reliability for these than people give them credit for. Personally, that's what I think. But we're going to take it apart. We're going to learn how that goes back together and apart through and through everything and get really deep and dive into that so we can go ahead and start port matching, balancing cranks and all that stuff. So again, I got to start saving up for that part of it. But first, the welder. We're getting into welding. I think that's where my heart is right now, and that's what I really am interested in. So the welding is going to come first, and then we're getting into the money into like balancing cranks and stuff like that. Not that there's a lot of money involved. It's really not. It's just I want to get the right tools. I really want to take it serious. So, yeah, so we're going to learn from there. We also have the Super Rat, the G2 motor, whatever you want to say in the back. Really different CDI. Does have different stuff like that. Really decent performance we've seen. That's the first motor that ran on the Kokora, and not bad, honestly. Super happy with it for, I think, for what it is. So we are going to port that because I have it, and I don't have a ton of motors, really, and they need to get onto bikes. So we know its capabilities, and now we're going to go ahead and port it and see what happens next. So super excited. That'll be fun. Just took off this so you can see that it's an internal CDI. Might buy one and make a bottom end from eBay because you can still get them. Buy another bottom end and make an iron sleeve and just see what comes from that. So that'll be kind of fun. That's where I'm at with that. Guys, the Menace 85, wow, what a power horse. Honestly, super great potential. I had a great time with it, but I ruined the cylinder. I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. That's 100% on me. Dude, guys. Long story short, guys, I got the compression too high on it. Sorry, I had to take a moment just because of my stupidity. With that being said, I'm going to email Ethan and show him some of how the transfers kind of turned out. I do know that 100% on me. Transfers, I think, I did the damage. I'm taking full responsibility. We'll see if we can afford one. Another one, I think you get more bang for your buck if you just buy the whole either kit or the whole motor, so you can get the head, so we can do other projects and stuff like that. So, yeah. I did take an Avenger cylinder on there, my Avenger cylinder on there, and put it on there, and it seems to fit pretty good. So the bottom end just ate a bunch of material. So I'll maybe go ahead and throw a couple pictures of that or a quick little video of that right there. And if we didn't, we're going to move on. You'll see. So yeah. Oh man, guys, I can't believe I did that. Anyways, moving on from my stupidity. So watch your squish, guys. I think it ended up being like even below. I think I was hitting, to tell you the truth, is what was going on. Long story short, yeah, watch your squish. Okay, sorry. I'm getting tired of talking. Okay, we have the Avenger 85. Wow, guys. Wow, what a great motor so far. It's been super fun. Kind of a little bit of pain in the butt in the beginning with all the shim work and all the spacing we had to do there, but we ended up making it work. It's on the stand. We're going to go ahead and get our wheel on there and get timing. Handy dandy book. We still got to go ahead and write it all down. We're not even that far yet. So I go ahead. I have this piston stop that we'll have to use as well compared to your other ones where you can just let it flat. And that's just because it's a flat piston, if that makes sense. So just a heads up, a tool you might need. Also that kind of stuff. Also too, I've been kind of dogging Optiamine 2. Who? You can kind of hear me, but I just brought it up because you can hear me saying it all the time in the background. I don't know. My squish was too much, so that was a lot of the issues that I thought was because of this. So we're gonna keep running it because I paid for it. So we're gonna run the whole bottle and see how everything else goes. So sorry, that's just a little shout out to Optiamine too. We'll just see, guys. Running back to this Avenger 85. So we're gonna get everything on there and get our whole process. We'll make a whole video and all that kind of stuff, going down the rabbit hole and having fun. So super excited. All right, the very last thing is we do have a pit bike little caliper system that we're going to go ahead and throw on, I think, Katsune as of right now. This was one that I think that Trent put on his first one that he did. I ordered it. Why not? So we're just going to go ahead figure that out and just get more stoppage, especially with how all that stuff goes. We are going to use the welder to do some welding on the frames themselves so we can have disc brakes in the back, but to also increase safety and all that kind of stuff, I want to have these bad boys in the front. And because of cost and stuff like that, we got to ease into that. And I can't remember if this was part of that purchase. I think Gemini and Small Performance also have better stuff you can buy now for better mounting. So this might even be obsolete at this point. I'm not 100% sure. This was an Amazon purchase, but so that's another can of worms we're gonna have to open up. But alrighty, guys, that's really it. That's really what I've been up to. Really just kind of saving up on the welder, but we do have a bunch of stuff that we can do for free. We can get some free power from all this. We just got to have the time and patience to get numbers. See if we can make some door stops and see if we can not make some door stops. Hey guys, we're back, and sorry, I cut off super brief, super quick. Ran out of data on my SD card, so boom, done. Had to cut it. Didn't have a choice. But it gave me a couple days to reflect and kind of like what's the point of this video? Like, where are we at? What are we doing? Like, cool, I got some bikes, I got a welder. In the process of getting a welder, saving up for it and all that jazz, but like, yeah, that's cool and all, and it will definitely help the channel and stuff, but it doesn't give us an overall circumference of my goals and stuff like that. So I kind of want to take a little bit more time at the risk of running a long video, which, I'm sorry guys, I make long videos. But what are we doing here, guys? Like, what's the whole point of all this? Why am I still putting all this time and effort into a hobby that's very niche? Obviously, I think if I had every subscriber that ever did motorized bicycles, we might be like, in the US, might be sitting at like 5,000. That's a lot, but really, in the totality of stuff, it's not a lot. So what am I trying to go with that? Now that I'm reached the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 of hours that is required to become a partner with YouTube and all that jazz, now that we've achieved that, and I start looking at the numbers as far as revenue and stuff like that goes, and I realize that I won't be able to reach any kind of financial freedom from the YouTube and stuff like that. Definitely help, definitely put a little bit of money in my pocket to then put back into the hobby and to go ahead and do the next thing. So really, guys, I just want to take the time and just say that I think like everything that I want to do and be a part of this hobby and stuff like that, I need to amplify it. I want to be a part of it. I want to find my niche as far as like where I sit in with things. So I really think that looking at the totality of everything, I really would like to get into welding frames, building actual motorized bicycle frames that are made for motorized bicycles. Maybe, you know, try to get some of the Americano going on, guys. You know, try to bring it back a little bit as far as us, you know, guys. Small Performance, obviously U.S.-based company, kicking butt, taking names, and I like that, man. I like that idea, that thought process. So long story short, we're gonna kind of be like on a 1 year to 2 year plan to save our resources, get tools, get what we need to maybe potentially build a couple frames. Obviously, you know, that's a tall glass, guys. That's a tall glass with having a full-time job, full-time dad, and other obligations and stuff like that. And that brings me to my next topic, is that in order to seek the financial freedom potentially from YouTube, is that I gotta broaden my horizons. And that doesn't affect motorized bicycles at all, but it has really made me think a lot. I do a lot of other hobbies, I do a lot of other stuff. I don't do anything else besides motorized bicycles and work. But I do like video games. I've been wanting to get into mountain biking forever, but the price tag has just been astronomical. To get an entry-level hardtail, you're looking at $1,000. I can buy a motorcycle for $2,000 nowadays out of China, but I can still do it. Crazy. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is, now that Walmart has recently come out with a very, very legit mountain bike, a Walmart bike. So I think I'm going to go ahead and make like a little mini series, like a little series on that, but it's going to be from a new channel. I'm going to start a new channel with that. And I'm also thinking about doing a little bit of like a product review channel for gaming and more nerd stuff, kind of get that entry level going. So honestly, in the next probably 2 months, I'm going to be working on creating 2 more channels, guys. Obviously, they're probably not going to cater to what you guys are into, but if you guys are interested in a whole bunch of nerd stuff and potentially doing some mountain biking and stuff like that, let me know, and we'll keep you posted as far as that coming out. So a lot of big things are going on. I understand from my point of view, like I have to like triple down. I have to be a better worker at work. I have to come home and be efficient, and I also have to make sure that I take the time for my mental stability to be able to balance all this, because I'm going to be taking on so much more. The whole point of mountain biking is to really get me in shape, because I'm super out of shape and I just haven't been feeling good for the last year, and I need to take care of myself. So that's why we're kind of going down that rabbit hole. And it's a bicycle, guys. Like 2 wheels, man. What's better than 2 wheels? Not 4, I know that. So yeah, so keep an eye out for that. I'll keep you guys posted. No obligation, guys. No obligation. But yeah, super cool, guys. A lot of big stuff, a lot of stuff that I really, really want to get into and continue to build and grow, and let's get this going, you know? So big plans for Grendel's Garage, and I'm so excited you guys are along for the ride with me. So let's go ahead and make some bacon, have some fun, and tear it up, guys. It's your boy James. Till next time, Grendel's Garage.